So my topic for today is universal design for learning. So maybe you've never heard of universal design for learning. What is it? Well, UDL is a concept with three primary principles that are intended to act as a base for curriculum, upon which the building of the content itself can occur in such a way that a variety of different learners are all able to understand. UDL is essentially providing students with multiple modes of engagement, representation, and action and expression, finding different ways for students to do each of these three things. Why does UDL matter? Well, UDL is created to help everyone succeed in the classroom, and as teachers and educators, that should be our primary goal. It is our job to ensure that every student can learn, and applying the principles of UDL to curriculum is a concrete way to make that happen. UDL is particularly important regarding high school math. Algebra and other math courses in high school create the foundational building blocks for college math courses and other math skills needed in the workforce and real world. Therefore, it is crucial that students have a solid understanding of these concepts, and UDL is an effective way of ensuring universal comprehension. It is important for us as educators to be aware of UDL, that we might equip ourselves to best support our students and to support and encourage our colleagues to do likewise. Moreover, if applying UDL becomes a group effort between educators, learning and growth can continue beyond the school context. As with anything, there are pros and cons to UDL. However, it is quite apparent that the pros outweigh the cons. First, let's discuss the advantages and disadvantages from an educator perspective. The benefits are obvious. Students learn more effectively, allowing us to do our job better, which allows us to become more effective educators in the process. However, taking the UDL approach means that you will have to adjust your curriculum, which is considerably more work. Additionally, this extra work is bound to take up more of your time than traditional lesson planning typically does. However, as educating students is our goal, I think that a little more time and effort to achieve that end is more than worth it. From a parent's perspective, student learning more effectively is a decided plus, especially because it means that students will not need as much support from their parents in terms of homework assignments, which they may or may not be able to assist with. However, UDL is a newer concept, and implementing some of the principles may result in non-conventional teaching methods. Parents who take an interest in what and how their students are taught may be skittish around the concept of UDL until they learn more about it. Okay, so we've established what UDL is and why it's important, but how does it actually work? Well, let's say that I'm teaching an algebra lesson. I might give students the opportunity to choose whether they would like to use a graphing calculator or pencil and paper to graph the activity. And I might also allow them to decide whether they work in partners or alone for that activity. Giving students the opportunity to make choices within their education engages them and builds their interest. I could also foster an atmosphere in my classroom where everyone is supportive of one another and risk-taking is encouraged. In such an environment, students will be more focused, thus acting as another mode of engagement. To represent the content in multiple different ways, I might show them images and diagrams of the content as well as videos. Additionally, I might give them a learning activity in which they can kinesthetically engage with the material. Furthermore, I might have a handout for my students outlining any symbol definitions that might trip them up. To give students multiple opportunities to act and express based on the content, I might give students the opportunity to use a variety of technologies on a project related to the content, and I might be available to students for support through multiple mediums. These are very practical examples intended to show you some ways in which UDL might be implemented. Now, we've already discussed the pros and cons that apply to educators and parents, but what about the general advantages and drawbacks, the ones that pertain more to the students? Students equipped with their higher comprehension will be more prepared to take the next step after high school, whether that be college, workforce, or something else. Additionally, UDL operates on the principle of engaging students, encouraging them to learn. Therefore, UDL stimulates learning, creating an intrinsic drive for it, which is a much more effective motivator than any extrinsic ones. Furthermore, when students have multiple outlets through which they have the opportunity to exhibit what they know, they are more able to effectively demonstrate their knowledge than in the case of traditional tests and quizzes. However, most schools still operate on a standardized test system whose tests are not engaging, represent the content in a singular way, and offer one mode of expression. Therefore, teaching UDL does not necessarily benefit students in that setting. Also, many college courses are still in the traditional lecture-based format, so giving students experience in a UDL setting might make it more difficult for them to adjust to this format in the future. While we clearly see why UDL looks good on paper, how does it play out in the real world? What does research tell us about UDL and its application? Well, in a meta-analysis of 18 studies on the effectiveness of UDL conducted between 2013 and 2016, all 18 studies demonstrated the effectiveness of UDL principles in making learning more accessible for all students. The fact that 18 studies came to the same conclusion should convey the strength of the foundation upon which UDL is built. Furthermore, an additional study on the implementation of UDL concepts in the classroom found that among higher education teachers, only 5 hours of training were needed to effectively increase educators' abilities to use UDL principles in their classrooms. Therefore, given the effectiveness of UDL, learning how to properly integrate it into your classroom has a high return on investment. UDL additionally helps educators build the ideal atmosphere conducive to learning. When everyone is able to better understand the content, it frees students up to focus on supporting each other using the diverse means of engagement, representation, and action and expression, which help them to understand the content in the first place. When students are able to work together to further their education, they discover the part that failure plays in the journey of progress. When students realize that failure is not something to fear, but something to learn from, they become more willing to take risks in the classroom, which leads to success for everyone. Therefore, UDL is a valuable tool in the sort of learning environment that every teacher should strive for. In conclusion, UDL is a powerful tool that we as educators have the ability to harness. It is within our responsibility to enable every student to succeed in the classroom, and UDL is an effective way to make that happen.